I love girls' schools. It's great. God, I love it. I love it to death. Wish I could go back. It was a girls' school, but it was weirdly kind of the same building, and there was this door that people called the Iron Wall, and then you had to have permission to go past the Iron Wall into the boys' school, and you'd be like buzzing, like taking the reception, like, ooh, I'm gonna go to the boys' school, and then you.
The one story I have that really sticks out to me, that really sums up the mentality of going to like my all-boys school, was almost 1,000 boys lined up on the edge of this playing field, and we saw teachers running out of the building, and we all just turned and like mooned them. I remember it now, it was legendary.
Girls ended up being really close with each other, not just in the sense that we would tell each other like everything, but we could just kind of talk about things in the open in our classroom without worrying if a boy was going to hear about it. Like we could talk about periods, we would like, I don't know, in a girls' school it was like totally normal to just like pull up your tights, for example, in front of everybody else, because everybody was doing it.
I think you can always tell who went to a girls' school by how people handle how they pull up their tights. That is like the key thing. Because in girls' schools, because you're all girls, you just like, people are just reaching down into their pants and pulling up their tights, or just like lifting up their skirt and pulling up their tights. And then like, I've been around people when they're like, oh, I need to pull up my tights, and they leave the room and they go to like the bathroom, and I'm like, where are you going?
You're there to have fun, you're there to get muddy, you're there to play sport, you're there to sort of, you know, I developed friends for life at this all-boys school, people that have come to my wedding, that I still talk to every single day, that I still hang out with at weekends, are friends I made at this all-boys school.
On the one hand, there was this attitude of like, don't care, like be whoever you are, whatever. But on the other hand, you had to be athletic, you had to be like thin, you had to be pretty, you had to be popular, you had to also have really, really good grades and like be top of the class and everything.
Being good in school definitely wasn't seen as a good thing. The most popular kids in my all-boys school were definitely the loudest kids, the kids that were the most boisterous, you know, would make people laugh. Like if you could make people laugh and you were good at sport, then you would do well at my school.
From what I've heard from boys' schools, obviously we have banter and like sometimes you tease a teacher and like sometimes you have a bit of chaos, like whatever. But I've heard stories from boys' schools where they're literally like constantly tormenting the teacher. It's like, it's just like, it's hilarious to like just completely ruin people's school day.
Our understanding of the opposite gender was bad, to say the least. I definitely think it was a hindrance to me and everyone else that went to an all-boys school in terms of viewing the opposite gender as people. I will be honest in saying, you know, 1,000 teenage boys in one place isn't a good place for, you know, to grow good habits in terms of, you know, viewing the opposite gender.
We definitely knew what boys were because like we share the same school bus. But like the small, half an hour journey that we'd get with them, I honestly thought they were quite repulsive. I remember like one of the boys came up to me once and was like, oh my God, look at this porno. And I was just like, but why? Like, why are you showing me this? I could not fathom even going to one of my friends and be like, oh my God, look at this porno. Like, what is going on here? So yeah, I just thought they were quite disgusting, to be honest.
I think it was around year 9, year 10, so 13, 14, 15, maybe probably like 14, 15, when it suddenly started to become this thing where it's like, you need to have a boyfriend because boys are cool and like, it's a cool thing to have a boyfriend. And so I definitely think it celebrated them and made them much more revered than like they should have been.
I think it's great for girls to grow up in like, almost like a judgment-free. It's not judgment-free because you're still in school, but it's like, it's judgment without another sex. You're just like trying to like live your life and like just come out, like just be as feminine or as masculine as possible without people looking down on you. So I think it's really important for women.
I think that it's just down to personal preference. It depends on what you want and where you feel comfortable. And I guess that should be the main thing. It shouldn't come from your parents, it should come from what you want as well.
I think if I made the decision later in life, like definitely I would have chose a mixed school. a co-ed school. I think asking an 11-year-old boy if he wants to go hang out with all his mates at an all-boys school and play sport and have fun and not have to worry about impressing girls, it sounds like a really great option, which is what I chose at that age. But I don't think now I would pick to do that, no.
I think girls' schools are a good thing. Boys' schools, not so much. Boys need girls to develop, that's it. You can't deny that. Boys need girls to develop.
You know, for a lot of people, they probably didn't enjoy it. And looking back now, you know, I sympathise with that massively, but I personally had a very fun, enjoyable experience there, and it was really all to do with like the sort of male bonding that happened there.